Lily here from Shine Bright Diamonds 2023, and I'm coming to you today on Monday, December 29th with another one of my weekly WIP'n chats. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am so happy that you have found my little corner down in YouTube. And of course, if you are returning, welcome back. Now, if this is your first time tuning into a WIP'n chat, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat is where I chat to you about what's been going on in my life. So feel free to pull out a project and work alongside me, or treat this as a podcast, whatever floats your boat. So let's get into it, because I have quite a few updates. But before I do anything, I do want to give you a heads up that my area of Ontario, Canada, is currently dealing with a windstorm. So if you hear like howling or just background noise, it is literally the wind. It is so loud, so strong. It's been a wild 2 days of weather. But anyway. All right, so the kit that I'm actually working on is a different one. I ended up putting Clara and the Nutcracker by Miss Holly off to the side because I needed a break from square drills. So yesterday on December 28th, I actually kitted up this little kit here. It's from Make Market. I had bought it last year and it's a round drill canvas. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna work on it. So this kit is smaller. It's coming in at 40.6 by 50.8 centimeters. And to be honest, I am on the last section of my first row. So it's moving along pretty well. I don't know if I will finish this before the new year starts. I just needed a change. So yes. In terms of my supplies, I have my 2 pens coming from Creations Moran. One of them has the 12 placer, then the other one has my 6 placer. So these are the pens. And then I have my Diamond Art Club Twist and Pick pen. That's my go-to. And then I have another Diamond Art Club pen here. This one is the one that comes in the kit that has the clear putty. If you've been to my channel for a while, you would know that the Diamond Art Club clear putty is my favorite for placing A-B drills. And it just so happens that this kit has A-B drills, which is a very fun surprise. So yeah. Now in terms of what I'm using for this kit, I actually kitted it up in my Creations Moran trays. So you'll just see me filter through different trays as I make my way through this. And you can totally see. Ta-da! Okay. So this is the section here. I've done quite a bit actually, like pretty much the whole top row of this. And then I kind of figured the second row, I have like really big release papers. I think they're like 5 by 8 inches. So yeah, I'll just make really big sections, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm gonna grab A. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. So how are you? What is new? It is almost 2026. Which is exciting and crazy, and to be honest, I'm ready for it. So I don't even know where to start. Well, I guess since my last WIP'n chat, I'm still on my holidays, hence why I'm filming Saturday in the middle of the day, or not Saturday, Monday in the middle of the day. I go back to work next Monday on January 5th. So I guess we'll start with last week. So last week, what happened to me last week? That's right. So last week, I ended up staying with my parents from Christmas Eve, so the 24th, all the way until the 27th. So I came back on Saturday, the 27th. And while I was at my parents', it was literally, so first of all, they invited me over for Christmas Eve so that I wouldn't spend Christmas Eve by myself in the apartment. So that was really nice. Christmas Eve, I ended up, like the day of, making my homemade crab cakes to bring for Christmas Eve dinner. So Christmas Eve was busy because I made the homemade crab cakes, and then I also was like still doing the finishing touches of my packing of like my clothes and stuff. And then on top of that, I got a notification from FedEx saying that my Diamond Art Club Advent calendar was out for delivery. And I was like, what? because it was apparently supposed to come today, which is the 29th. But yeah, it came on the 24th. Now, unfortunately, I did not stick around to receive the delivery. So I had to wait until I got back on Saturday to receive it. Luckily, the package was received on Saturday. It's perfectly fine. I was a menace. I opened up all of the, what is it, compartments. We'll talk about the dime painting in a little bit. But anyway, back to Christmas with my family. So Christmas Eve was really nice. We ended up marathoning some movies. So we ended up, like, my parents and I, we watched the latest Superman movie, the one that came out in July, I think, that has, like, the little dog named Crypto. Okay, first of all, the movie was, like, okay. It wasn't my favorite Superman movie, but the dog Crypto made that movie for me. He was so adorable. And I love how he was just so chaotic. He was chaotic, but he didn't mean to be chaotic. Like, he was a happy little bundle of chaos, that's for sure. Is my camera still going? Yes, it is. Okay. So, sorry, I have, like, my camera in, like, a new angle. And I'm like, normally when I'm sitting, I can see it, but, like, if it's still going, but anyway. Okay, so we ended up watching the newest Superman movie. Crypto the dog was super cute. I was obsessed with him. And then after that, we ended up watching the movie Red One with Chris Evans and The Rock. That's one of my favorite, like, my new favorite Christmassy type movies. Like, it's just so good. So we watched those, and then we went to bed. And then on Christmas Day, we drove to my grandma's house to do, like, a Christmas brunch, and my brother and his fiance met us there. So most of Christmas Day was spent at her house, which was really nice, seeing her. She's about an hour from my parents' place. So for me, you know, it's always nice when I can hitch a ride. But yeah, so we spent Christmas Day there. And then, honestly, for, what was it, Boxing Day was when we did, like, a second little Christmas. But this Christmas was just with my parents, my brother, his fiance, and myself. And, like, we exchanged our gifts. So that was really fun. It was just really, really nice. But Boxing Day, we had a snowstorm. So during the day, my dad and I were out there shoveling. And then Saturday, when I was ready to, like, to go home, I had to, like, shovel because it continued, like, snowing. It snowed, and then it was, like, ice pellets, and then it was snow again. So Saturday, trying to shovel that snow was awful. My neighbor saw us struggling, so he came over with his, like, really fancy snowblower and literally did the driveway for us, and I am forever grateful. I'm like, I need a snowblower. But yeah, so that was that. And then eventually Saturday, like, I came home. I think I got home, like, in the early afternoon. And for whatever reason, I was beyond exhausted. I took the longest nap of life on Saturday. I think I fell asleep at, like, 2 something and didn't wake up till, like, 6:30. Like, it was very chaotic. But yeah, so that was that. And then Saturday, because my sleep was all messed up, I ended up, like, having broken sleep Saturday night into Sunday morning, only for me to wake up Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. I spent the morning diamond painting, hence why there's so much of this kit done. And then instead of going to the the 11 a.m. mass, I went to the 9 a.m. church service, which was nice. I think I still like the 11 a.m. one, but that's just me. And then after church, I did, like, a little grocery before coming home for a bit. And then I had to get ready again because Sunday I ended up celebrating Friendsmas with one of my best friends. And while we were doing Friendsmas, it was a rain ice storm situation. So it started off as rain. So I was driving in the rain because every year for Friendsmas, her and I, we get, like, pho. So it's always just so fun. And so it started off as rain, and then when we left the restaurant, it was like ice pellets. So that was not fun. So Sunday, on my way home from the restaurant, I ended up having to stop by the grocery store to get salt because I'm like, I am going to slip and fall. Like, it's going to be ugly. And then honestly, I like hunkered down. I was like, I am not leaving the apartment again. And then, so yeah, so that was that. And then today, again, I woke up ridiculously early. I think I woke up at around 7, so it wasn't that bad. And whoopsie. And I ended up doing some crafting. I organized the apartment, and then I was like, I need to go to the mall. Because one of the things I got for Christmas was a gift card to like Winners, HomeSense, and Marshalls. Like, it's a 3-in-1 card. And I had like got that gift card from my mom. And I had told my mom that, you know, for Christmas, I wanted a house coat or like a bathrobe. And she essentially got me a gift card for HomeSense, Marshalls, Winners, because she's like, you can, like, I'll give you the money for it, like, just pick out something you like. And she knows, like, I love those stores. So today I was like, I'm gonna venture out and I'm gonna go and see if I can get myself a house coat, because normally I get my stuff from like my pajamas and stuff from Livy and Rose, but like Livy and Rose, their house coats, there is no sale going on for Boxing Week. So I was like, well, Winners should have a decent sale. So today I went out to Winners. I did so good. So first of all, I got myself Starbucks. So I don't know if you can see it, but yes, I never get Starbucks, so that was a treat. I got a caramel brulee latte. So I got that, and then I ended up going into, well, no, I got the coffee on my way out of the mall because I'm like, I'm not shopping with a coffee in my hand. So anyway, sorry, this story is like really all over the place. Clearly I've had way too much coffee today, again. All right, let me start over. I swear I can do this. So today I decided to go out and get myself my house coat, or see if I could get one. So I made sure I had the gift card with me. I went to the mall and I was successful. I went into Winners. I found a house coat that I really liked at a price that I liked. So I got myself a house coat with the gift card from my parents. And then I ended up, because there's like a Chapters Indigo, which is a bookstore here in Canada, in case you're not from Canada, a Chapters Indigo at the mall, and they were having a blowout sale on their Christmas stuff. So I was able to pick up some Christmas cards for next year. So that was good. And then after I was done with all of this, I think I just put something where it doesn't belong. Yeah. I grabbed my Starbucks on my way home. And now I'm here, diamond painting again. And for whatever reason, this diamond painting is really satisfying. I don't know what it is, but I love Make Market brand diamond paintings, and I feel like I just don't do them enough. Well, I do them. It's just I never like feature them, I guess, on my channel, because I do have majority Diamond Art Club. But anyway. So, yeah. So that's what I've been up to the past few days. And now on top of all this, while I've been visiting with my family, when I went to visit with my family, I ended up bringing with me one of my Diamond Art Club mini dazzles kits, which I ended up finishing. So I actually finished the Disney Princess Christmas Ornament mini dazzle set. So that I will definitely be filming a post review for. It was a very unexpected finish, to be honest. But yeah, so I did finish that. And then in terms of like, I guess we may as well chat about diamond painting news, because I am all over the place. As you can see, I started another diamond painting project. Why? I just needed a break. I just wanted to work on rounds. But this project isn't that big and it seems to be going by pretty fast. So who knows? Maybe it'll be done before the end of the month, which is in what, 3 days? Yeah, we'll see. But yes, so I have been working on this one. I started yesterday, doing really well with it. Clara and the Nutcracker is just hanging out on the floor, which I told myself when I'm done this kit, then I will go back to Clara and the Nutcracker because I was in a good groove with it, but I just really needed a break from the square drill situation, which is fair. And then in terms of my diamond painting purchases, my Diamond Art Club advent calendar came. Okay, I am obsessed with all these items. I've never purchased a Diamond Art Club advent calendar. I always just live vicariously through other people. It's like all little projects, and I am in love with it. Now, there were 3 items, 4 things that were like diamond painting accessories, which, spoiler alert, I mean, it's been out for a while, but it was the washi tape, the cover minders, and the diamond painting tray. Oh, and the pen. I am obsessed with these items. Like, I normally don't get obsessed with stuff like that. I'm very much like, no, I just want the actual diamond paintings. But honestly, the little pen it came with, which is actually right here, this one, obsessed. It's so cute. I love it. It's one of their screw tip pens. So I ended up ordering a screw tip for the end. So hopefully that will come. Well, I didn't just order the screw tip. I ordered some other things, but hopefully that will come. My guess is maybe sometime next week. Just because everything's like super busy. But yes, so I am obsessed with the items in the kit. Unfortunately, that is very much like Christmas themed stuff. The one diamond painting, I could swing it and say it's winter. But I have a feeling majority of the items I will be saving them for next December, because after January 1st, I don't think I want to do anything that's like hardcore Christmas. I think I just want to do like more winter things. But I've also accepted that Clara and the Nutcracker is going to be a January project, because there's no way I'm finishing that canvas in 3 days, especially now that I kitted this one up. But yes, so that is that. Yeah, I was just pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I didn't expect to be this intrigued by the advent calendar. Now I'm like, maybe I'll have to get the 2026 one. Who knows? But honestly, it was just a really nice surprise. Really nice little surprise. And it's so funny because I had seen all the unboxings, for it. I'd seen people complete the items, because for me, I'm not I'm okay with spoilers. That's just my personality. But it's so funny because even though I knew what was in the kit, I was still living my best life when I opened every single door of this advent calendar. But yeah, so that was that. I still need to, part of me is wants to work on maybe the coasters, because they are called the winter coasters. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. I do have the Mandela diamond painting coasters to work on, because I had wanted to do Mandela coasters for my family room. Have not done them yet. They're just sitting there, even though I know it would be a pretty quick project to do. That's just me. But yes, so that was that. And then I was bad. I didn't really do any Boxing Day shopping, to be honest. The only Boxing Day shopping I did was Creations Marin had a Boxing Day sale. So I did pick up another tray tower, and they had a winter mystery tray. So I picked that up. I have no idea what it is. I'm really excited. And then I ended up picking up another one of just their everyday trays, because if you've been on my channel for a while, you would know that for whatever reason, diamond painting trays are my favorite accessory. Why? I don't know. Because yeah, it's just this weird thing that I have. I'm not like a huge like putty collector. I mean, I like my pens, don't get me wrong, but like trays every time, like I don't know what it is. Yeah. And now that like Yellow Dog Designs isn't in business anymore, you know, now I'm like, hi Creations Morin. Tray. So bad. My like Yellow Dog design trays are just like really special to me. Really, really special. But anyway. Yeah, so that's like my diamond painting news. I am now like just vibing. So for the rest of this week, what's going on is I'm just going to enjoy the last week of my vacation. I will be literally spending it crafting. New Year's Eve, I'm at my friend's house. So that will be nice. And then I think near the end of the week, my bestie from elementary school is possibly coming to visit. So I'm really excited for that. And then it's back to reality come next Monday, January 5th. So I'm just soaking up all of the holiday. Now, with that being said, soaking up all of the holiday also means watching a ton of TV. So I did finish Emily in Paris season 5. Loved it. I'm also just a huge Emily in Paris fan. It's like one of those shows where I'm like, I need the next season ASAP. Like, it's just so quirky. And then I think I mentioned I started watching The Good Doctor, which has been nice because I do enjoy like medical dramas. And then I got back into 911, that TV show, because that's just a really good show to me. So I had started it and then I had stopped at like season 5. So I picked it up again at season 6. So I've been watching that. And then obviously my Below Deck. So just honestly been watching a lot of TV. I've been taking my smaller diamond painting projects into like the family room so I could work on them there. Unfortunately, this kit, because I kitted it up in my Creations Marin trays, I will not be able to travel with it to the family room because I don't trust myself to walk with the tray towers full of trays. I see myself tripping and spilling that, but that's okay. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of TV, definitely branching out a little more instead of only watching reality TV, so go me go. And then in terms of books, so I did finish How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. That book was so long. Like, for a romance book, it was over 400 pages. It was really good, but it was just really long. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a great book. But in all seriousness, like, why are romance books over 400 pages? Like, that book was just shy of 500. Like, when I pick up a romance book, especially one that's supposed to be like cheesy and cute, like, I expect it to be a quick read, not, long like a Sarah J. Maas book. But anyway, it was good. It was really cute. I liked how there was like the Christmas puns. Like, it was genuinely a really funny read. So that book, I finished it, and now I'm focusing on just finishing Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, because my goal is to not bring any books I started in 2025 into 2026, and that is the only book I have left to finish. Luckily, Ali Hazelwood books are most of the time a quick read. But yeah, I don't know why this book is taking me so long to read, which is really weird because normally Ali Hazelwood books, I read them really quick because she's also like one of my like auto buy type authors. Yeah, but part of me thinks, okay, this is a crazy theory. Let me grab my coffee first, so I can like explain my book theory. Because my other friend and I, we were talking about this, and we're like, maybe this is an us thing, or maybe it's a universal reader thing. I don't know. Okay, so I am an avid reader. I have my ebook, my e-reader. And then I typically buy physical copies of books, but I only buy physical copies of books if it's like a special edition situation and it's gonna look pretty on my shelf, or if it's like any Megan Miranda book, I have to have a physical copy. So Megan Miranda, Sarah J. Maas. Who's the other author that I'm like, I must always have a physical copy of their books? Sarah J. Maas. I don't know. But yes, those are like the two authors that no matter what, I always have a physical copy. And then there's certain authors that I will always have a copy of their book, but it's always on my e-reader. And Ali Hazelwood is one of those authors. So Ali Hazelwood, Sherry Lapina, are physical, like our ebooks. No matter what, I always own the ebook. Well, for whatever reason, the book WIP'n, when it was released at Chapters Indigo, they did like really pretty sprayed edges, and like the edges of the book are to like mimic the look of like when the sun is shining on pool water. And obviously it got me, so I had to get it. But now I'm like, I'm not reading that book as fast. So I was telling my friend, I'm like, you know, like Sarah J. Maas books, Meg Miranda books that are like physical copies, I get through them really quick. And Ali Hazelwood, when she's on my e-reader, I get through her books really quick. So then I told my friend my theory. I'm like, I think my theory is that because my Ali Hazelwood WIP'n book, I have it as a physical book and not as an ebook, I feel like that's why it's not going as quick. And then I'm like, I wonder if I should test the theory out and put like from the library or something, like a Sarah J. Maas book, because I'm not going to buy a book to do this theory, but like to borrow like a Sarah J. Maas book or a Meg Miranda book and see if like I struggle reading it as an ebook instead of a physical book. And my friend is looking at me and she's like, you're delulu. She's like, have you ever thought that maybe it's because like your Ali Hazelwood book, it's just really nice and you don't want to bring it with you everywhere, so that's probably why you haven't been reading it? And I'm looking at her, I'm like, I mean, that does make sense considering it has the nice sprayed edges and I don't want it to get ruined. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, like I've been reading this book since what, February, March of this year? I don't know. I got it when it came out, I think. I don't know, it's been like so long. So long. At least on the bright side, I have a good memory. So for me to like jump back into it, it won't be like horrible. But yes, so that is the new book situation. Of course, being me though, I'm like itching to start a new book, which I did. It's like The Empire of the Flame. I don't know. My next WIP'n chat, I will definitely be talking about it more because it's an ebook. It was on Kindle Unlimited, and it's about like fairies and dragon shifters. You know, when I say that out loud, I realize I really read some wild books. But it's supposed to be like a fantasy. Like, I don't think it's a romantasy. And I don't think it's a any dark romance situation. I think it's just a straight up fantasy. I actually don't know. I mean, there could have been trigger warnings because I don't know, like everything I read on Kindle Unlimited always has like a long list of trigger warnings and it's like the most like adult of adult content. Never trust me when I talk about my books for Kindle Unlimited. They're never like safe for anyone under 18. But yeah, so you know what, now when I say it out loud with it's fairies and dragon shifters, I feel like it might be a smut book. I don't know what I got myself into. I'll keep you posted. But anyway, yeah. So, after that weird, awkward realization that I've had, now that we're approaching the new year, I have also been starting to think about what some of my New Year's resolutions are. I feel like, and like reflecting too on the resolutions that I made for 2025. And I realized that this year, I actually like like when I actually reflect on how this year went, I realized that like yes, there were a lot of curveballs thrown at me and a lot of like very unexpected plot twists. But like honestly, this year was a year of growth. Like, and I genuinely mean that because like I learned a lot about myself, and I also learned that I'm more resilient than I thought. Taking over the apartment by myself, um, just really embracing sort of being single and just getting to know myself again. And I realized like when it came to like the fitness that I did pretty good. Like even though it wasn't like weight training like how I had hoped, but like me dancing 3 hours a week plus practicing, like that says something, you know? Um, and like keeping in mind like how to take care of myself, like in terms of like my wellness, like self care, that's something I think I like struggled with. Like it was hit and miss. So like when I'm thinking about my resolutions for 2026, I mean, I'll always have my book resolution. 2025, my goal was to read 24 books, and I ended up reading, I think, 27, which is good. I mean, if I finish Deep End, then I'll be at 28. So, fingers crossed, gotta focus. But, like, in terms of, I haven't even done, like, the check-in to see what I accomplished with diamond painting, to be honest. I have no idea how many finishes I had. I still have to film my year in review video, which I feel like it's going to be a surprise because I'll be like, oh, I did this, I did that. But like when I think about like my goals for 2026, I definitely want, to really focus more on like that self-care piece. Um, like really use the items that I have. Like I have bath bombs that I haven't used, and it's like, well, taking a bubble bath is part of self-care for me, you know? I definitely want to try and increase my reading goal. I haven't decided what the lucky number will be, but that's something that I would like to increase. Definitely read more. Um, I definitely want to work my way through my diamond painting stash. I still need to go through my diamond painting canvases and pull out the ones that are older kits that I'm like, you know what, like I definitely want to work on these. Like I've had them in my stash for a while. I don't think I'll be planning like, being like, well, this kit's for this month, this is for that. I think I'll just choose maybe 5 kits that I'm like, these are the ones for sure I want to work on this year. And then, fill in the rest with, whatever my heart sort of desires type of thing. Just because crafting for me, it's very like mood based. But I'll definitely want to pick like 5 older kits from my stash, and those are the ones that I'm like, yep, this is the year. Because I think 5's pretty reasonable. And then I definitely want to continue with my fitness journey. Um, Definitely want to push myself to keep moving my body, you know. Um, and whether it's like gentle movement of like going on a walk or maybe doing more stretching, it doesn't always have to be like a major me getting sweaty situation, if that makes any sense. Um, but yeah, so that's like what I'm thinking. So I'm curious to know, what are some of your goals or things you want to continue working on? I know, like for me, the self care piece is important. Um, Really, like I said, like, using up the items that I have. I also want to be more mindful and intentional with like my everyday purchases that are not part of like my needs. So, for example, like clothing like be more intentional when I'm shopping for clothes. So picking items that I can see myself wearing over and over again and not just, impulsively buying it, if that makes sense. Um, and the same thing goes for crafting supplies, like being more intentional with it. I did much better this year, I think, in terms of being intentional. Because before I was just like, let's just get everything. Now I'm like, nope, I'm good. So, yeah. So that's like some of the things that, I've been thinking about as, 2026 approaches. Obviously, there are other goals that are more personal to me that, I really want to focus on. Um, but yeah, that's sort of where I'm at with everything. I mean, 2025 was an interesting year. It was a difficult year, but I survived. That's what counts. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to turn off this light because I feel like this WIP'n chat is getting really long. But that looks pretty good. I did quite a bit here. Can't complain. I'll just keep going. I feel like I work faster when I'm not talking. But anyway, so in terms of this week, this WIP'n chat is going up on Tuesday, and then I will for sure have a video up on is Thursday January 1st? I don't even know, but I'll have a new video up on Thursday. No idea what it is. All I can say is I filmed a bunch of stuff. I just can't remember what I scheduled for when. That's where I'm at because talent. Anyway, so if you made it to the end of this very chaotic WIP'n chat, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support does mean the world to me. Of course, if you are looking for more diamond painting content, you can find me on my Instagram at ShineBrightDiamonds2023. Now, if you made it to the very end of this WIP'n chat, why don't you leave me a Christmas tree emoji? Because this is a Christmas tree that I'm working on. It's a Christmas tree and a snow globe. But yeah. All right. Well, until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye, everyone.